Happy Lunar New Year, guys. Lan here from Shadownet. Hope you guys have a prosperous year of the Ox, and may your year be filled with ELO, legendary skins, and money. Money is, of course, one of the key points of this holiday. It is an entire culture around money, but regardless, I hope that you guys have just a wonderful year to come in 2021. 2020 was rough, but we are now starting the year off strong, and so far Shadownet has a lot of news to offer. Before we actually tell you all about that news, I want to tell you about today's video.
Agent, are you ready to assimilate?
This video today is the first of many to come. This is a video series where I'm going to be doing essentially CEO chats, where I'm going to be telling you guys about Shadownet, about news updates, about what we're doing, where we're going, and I suppose who we are and what we're trying to achieve. And today's video, I'm telling you a little bit all about, well, telling you a little bit all about, that doesn't make sense, but I'm telling you guys a little bit about Shadownet, where I got the idea from, and a little bit about myself. If you don't want to hear anything about me, you can skip ahead to the thing. Wait, it's on this side. I'll put it on here. The button, wait, here somewhere. You can skip ahead here to see the video, the rest of the video, if you don't want to hear anything about me. If you guys already know who I am, then you guys probably don't even need to know my dark past. So yeah, okay, so a little bit about myself, and a lot of people have already, a lot of people that follow me already know this, and a lot of people that follow me on Twitter don't really know this, because most people on Twitter only know me as a Rainbow Six Pro League caster, or a washed up Rainbow Six Pro League caster. Truth hurts, but we gotta move on. So, I am the founder, and I was the operator of New Zealand's, Oceania's largest League of Legends community. This League of Legends community was called League of Legends New Zealand. It was a Facebook group, and we ran some kick-ass events. We made some kick-ass parties, and some really great tournaments, and some really great events, and a lot of memories, a lot of amazing memories. I repeated myself there a lot, damn. But we had a blast. I wasn't exactly the best leader, and that really showed up in the end, and eventually I left due to my errors, and I came back one day. I lost my ownership rights according to Facebook stuff, but regardless, we had some really good times, and we couldn't have done it with some fantastic members of that community and that moderator team. Thank you to all the mods: Jeff, Jeremy, David, Ben, Levi, Han. All those guys really made the group. Esmeralda as well, of course. And if I missed out anyone, I'm very, very sorry. So, the group grew to about 11,000 members. Very, very impressive number. We held some big events, like at Digital Nations, the first stage League of Legends thing. And you know, after all this, and after I saw the error of my ways and how I was poorly leading the group, I left on a journey of self-discovery. So on this journey of self-discovery, I tried everything. I tried the variety of different martial arts. I tried going to clubs like every single night. I wanted to just do a lot of different things to find out who I really was, because I always had some kind of identity issue, and I didn't know how to resolve that. So I did everything. I used to be a nightclub manager, so I went back clubbing a lot, and I eventually met a whole bunch of people. I met a whole bunch of people, and one guy really stuck out for me, and for some reason he just looked at me and he was just like, "This guy's the man. I'm gonna hang out with you all the time." And we did. We hung out like every single day. We were like best friends. We are still best friends, and we're still very close. And whenever I hang out with him, it's like, you know, I never left, and we never stopped talking. But we haven't spoken in a while, which reminds me, I gotta catch up with that guy. So generally, I tried everything, and particularly with this guy, I tried martial arts. I did every single kind of martial art. I did kickboxing, I did jiu-jitsu, I did like Muay Thai, I did wrestling, I did Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I did boxing, I did and I eventually landed on ninjutsu. And that sounds like probably the weebiest thing you could probably like think of, but the truth is, the teacher at this ninjutsu dojo in New Zealand actually changed my life. His energy was so intense, and I still think of all my lessons today, and it was probably one of the best times of my life. And I really broke out of my shell there. During that time, I was a very meek person, very scared to speak in public, and very I suppose I wasn't very brave. But going to these classes and stuff really helped me break out of my shell, and I really discovered myself there. And you know, it didn't stop at martial arts. I picked up fitness because I wanted to look better. I was quite chubby back then, and I wanted to be stronger, fitter, you know, more confident with my appearance and the clothes I was wearing. I even tried living in Malaysia for a while, spent like 9 months with my grandpa working as a personal trainer, and you know, like my time as a personal trainer was phenomenal. I loved it. And I still love it. I still love training clients, and I have been training clients all the way up till 2020. Obviously 2020 was a bit rough, and even at the end of 2020 I was still picking up clients, and but I put a stop to that for now, just because of all the plans that we're going to talk to you about. I've had to dedicate a lot of time to it. So eventually my passions for fitness and martial arts really pulled me into being a personal trainer. I've already skipped past that. And of course, during all this time I was gaming. So one day I got into Rainbow Six, and Rainbow Six was a title that I didn't have any friends to play with. So normally I only play games if my friends are playing, and that's the same case now. So if my friends are playing Destiny 2, I'm playing Destiny 2 as well. You know, I even have the raid ring and everything. I play with friends because I want to socialize. So eventually I got into Rainbow Six, but I really liked it. Something about Rainbow Six really stuck out for me, and it was part of and I really wanted to get in touch with the community. And during that time I was in Malaysia, so I reached out to the Malaysian community, and I was just like, hi, I'm looking for other people to play with, blah blah blah. And eventually I met a bunch of guys that were very competitive, and they ended up competing in the Southeast Asian Pro League, being the top team in Malaysia, and I ended up being their coach, and I also ended up being a Pro League caster. Not, of course, this is not obviously chronological, but I ended up actually casting some games, and I met some fantastic people like Dev Mata. I met Constantine, Robert J. Monday, you know, Monkey Fist, a whole bunch of people, you know, Sky as well. Like the list goes on. All the Ubisoft guys as well. Hung out with them, and honestly, like, it was a great time. Very, very proud of what we accomplished with the Rainbow Six team for Southeast Asia. Ended up casting the Southeast Asian Pro League with Infian, and even though I did some, and I even did some, I even did some some Australian. Damn it, go! I've only had one coffee today, guys. I'm sorry. I ended up casting there a couple of Australian games, and but eventually I pulled that all to the end of the road. I mean, sorry. Oh my god, my brain is not working. I need more coffee. Where's my? I need more morning brown. Eventually, I started Shadownet because the more I was in competitive esports, and the more I was in that team, and the more I was casting, sooner I realized that there was a lot of things in the industry that a lot of other professionals or aspiring professionals were just not doing as well, or ideally, and I personally thought that it wasn't that great. So I decided to embark on my own little journey, my own my final hoorah, my last big hoorah. And it was because I was 28, right? 28, 27. I was thinking, like, you know what, like, I think I can do this better. I had some fantastic success with League of Legends NZ. If I only was as wise or as learned as I was now, I learned from a lot from my very successful family in Malaysia, how to run a business. I've been in the industry and I've been in this scene and this community for like 7 years in total. You know, if you allot all the entire time I was in the competitive esports from League of Legends NZ. Working and working on tournaments and stuff like that, and those tournaments turned out some fantastic talent, like out of that talent pool, we've got Lost from TSM, and we've got Keen also in TSM now, and those guys were in our community and they were competing in our events before they went famous, and there were a whole bunch of other guys as well, and they're all fantastic talent. But eventually I started Shadownet. And so I started Shadownet. And so Shadownet here was something that I knew that I had to do very differently. I told Pronny that, I want to do things really different. I want to be very marketing focused. And we're still not perfect at it, but we're chipping away at it for sure. I can't tell you exactly what the business model for Shadownet is because it's very multifaceted, and I would be giving away a lot of our key secrets. But I can say that I'm very grateful for the partnerships that we do have with MSI. Their laptops have allowed me to stream Destiny, create so much content. I edit my videos on that stuff. And the laptops are all out with new influencers and content creators that will be developing themselves over the next few months. And we're supporting talent that didn't previously see potential in themselves. And that I know personally, because to me, the most important thing is to actually develop talent that I know has potential. And I'm not saying that talent from other places or like outside my friend circle don't have potential. I'm just more picky with who I pick these days. And Shadownet is an organization that I started with $100, and we made it this far because people believed in us, people trusted us, trusted me, and believed and wanted to invest in my time and my work and my efforts. So I'm thankful for everybody there, and thank you to Ivy and Eddie at MSI. Very grateful for all the support that you guys provide us. Then sending us the CES and providing us the sponsorship, the laptops, and the general capacity to take care of our organization. Amazing. And we look forward to creating more content for you guys and to be able to brand and bring your content to more influencers and the New Zealand market as well. In addition to that, obviously thank you to all the other sponsors and all the other supporting businesses that choose to believe in Shadownet. Playtech, thank you to Paul and the guys at Playtech. Thank you to the guys at Quantum for believing in us and wanting to be a part of our family, and obviously thank you to all the influencers and all the teams that have been with us. Some teams didn't work out, some teams just came and went, and that's okay. And but we've got a fantastic Valorant team now, we've got a fantastic Dota team. Very, very excited to be pushing these two titles, and we're now partnered in a franchise spot in the OEDL. So we got some very traditional esports stuff going, and we grew from a simple base package that Candor from the Rainbow Six community, helped me out with, and we've grown. We now work with Armani here, local New Zealand, now that we've got more funding, and Candor was too busy, now works with Epics, creating fantastic cards. He's a card guy, and very proud of him and his progress. And now looking towards creating a new thing with Shadownet. Shadownet, I told Pronny we have to do things differently. We have to do things with the market, and we have to target our audience in a new way, and work with our sponsors in a way that hasn't been seen before. And we haven't scratched the surface of that just yet. But we are making some fantastic strides. So a traditional esport brand wouldn't make sense to me because there are so many of them in New Zealand and Australia, and it's like I don't want to add to that noise. I don't want to just be another organization that's just doing competitive teams and making videos and stuff like that. I want to do live things. I want to do things in schools. I want to do things with the New Zealand public and New Zealand communities in person, and I want to be there with our events. You know, I don't want to just send a staff member as a volunteer because Oceania doesn't pay their fucking staff. It's just horrible. Or they pay them $50 a week. It's just like, oof. I wanted to take on the volunteers that believed in us because no one's getting paid right now. But soon, I hope in 2021, I am endeavoring to have our first full-time, well-paid staff member. I don't want to pay anyone until it's worthwhile. And I have paid our video editors, I have paid our graphic designers for the work that we actually use. Any other time it's my stuff, or you know, like someone's volunteered to do it and I say thank you very much, I can make them part of the family. And so I've been trying to keep this as ethical as possible, but I am taking up the help that whenever offered, because the truth is, as a startup organization, I really have to take out the handouts whenever I can to keep the truck and keep the train going. At that point, what I can say is that we've made some fantastic strides. We are actually making a lot of progress, and we have a lot of news to announce in 2021. But until then, what I can say about what Shadownet is that we are an esport organization. We are a gaming organization, to be specific. I want to create more content around casual gaming and things that are more relevant to me and my Shadow Chat team, as well as keeping the competitive side very alive with the organization as well. So there's a reason to that. Okay, so firstly, Shadownet's esport organization, that's because I love competitive esports. I think this is the future, as a future industry that is already blossoming but hasn't reached its peak yet. It's still in its infant stages. Well, maybe not infant stages, more like teenage stages, where it's not fully developed all around the world yet, like in New Zealand and Australia, but it is fully developed over in America. But even then, it's still not in government. It's still not part of the mainstream ecosystem. But that's different in New Zealand because we have a national appointed service operator, and we have an NSO here in New Zealand, and that's the NZESF. And they're not perfect, but they are working their best, and they are now under some new management, and they have a new angle. And now that they are an NSO and they've legalized esport as a sport in New Zealand, I'm hoping to see some fantastic changes and looking at their new initiatives moving forward. It is all a work in progress for everybody here in Oceania, and we have to support each other, and we have to put our egos below us and, you know, like, take risks with one another. Having said that, we want to do things differently here, and with Shadow Chat, that's very different from the competitive stuff. For the competitive stuff with the teams, that's running itself. I have a fantastic team there, and we're polishing the structure there, so we're changing the structure around, and hopefully now 2021 structure is much more efficient. But with Shadow Chat, last year you saw us make like very, very different, not different. So with Shadow Chat last year, you saw us make some content around literally almost anything. Like whether it's discussion topics, whether it's gameplay videos, whether it's game updates for Destiny, which was pretty much half the podcast, to be honest, or whether it's just general esport news, or even just gaming news, or world news as well. Whatever it is, Shadow Chat is content, I suppose, more relevant to me and my Shadow Chat boys. And it could be anything that we are interested in, because it is about us in the end. And I want to keep it relevant to the boys. And we're moving away from the regular podcast. And Shadow Chat is going to be more about meaningful content and more intellectual discussions with real research and opinions behind it. So when I say opinions, I mean reviews. We're going to be making movie reviews, comic book reviews, TV series, anime, game reviews, you know. And this is not to say that we're moving in on anyone's territory with that, you know, be it Attack on Titan or Xeno we know I love those guys, but this is something that we wanted to do this is our entire friendship. And those guys, they're not so, you know, enterprising as I am, or, you know, like wanting to just make stuff happen. I'm the person that kind of just wants to go out and just create. So I decided that, you know, this year 2021 we're gonna do just that. We're gonna actually create proper, meaningful content around the things that we do love and our actual opinions, and hopefully that has a more has a stronger impact on our audiences, and is more worth our time than just meaninglessly going out every weekend, just scrounge around for news and try to report and regurgitate news that's already being reported, you know. So to couple up and pair with this, Shadow Chat will be creating its content from a new website coming out for Shadownet as a whole. Now, Shadownet as a whole for this year will be releasing a website that will encompass reviews and all that on all this content and sponsored stuff as well, and we'll even have an online shop. What we're gonna fill the online shop with, not sure yet, but Shadow Chat will be growing accordingly and putting out content there. So hopefully more meaningful stuff coming out your way, and just a bit more curated. And so Shadownet is very different, as you can see. We're doing a little bit of everything. It's not completely wild. It's still within the spectrum of content creation, but how we're doing it is a bit different as well. And we're being more hands-on with live events and more in-person activations. And this is allowing us to create a new dynamic and actually work with other companies without being protective of our partners. And in fact, trying to share the deals and the partnerships that we do have with MSI, with Playtech, and with Quantum Energy, and, you know, trying to spread that further and trying to create more reach for smaller organizations or other brands to interact with them. Instead of closing off gates, instead opening it up and saying, we're the ones that are helping regulate this. Let's make this happen. We know how to do it. They trust us. This is how you're going to get there. So that's a little bit more insight into what Shadownet doing. Other than that, we're just playing games. We're just really just making content, and we're just really trying to share who we are. And if you guys are into that, thank you for following, thank you for subscribing to this video, to our channel. Thank you for giving this video a thumbs up if you liked it, a thumbs down if you didn't like it, because you thought I'm way too long-winded. But if you did like it, you do like my silly charm or whatever I do have that is about me that makes people want to just follow us, or trust me, whatever it is. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving it a thumbs up. Thank you for ringing that bell. And, you know, make sure you guys are really keeping up with what we're doing. Follow us on Twitter for live updates all the time. Instagram as well has some posts, and we are trying to showcase the beautiful humans in our organization, like Pentamagic, Esther, Absinthe, Renee, DJ Zeros, and the Valorant Boys. These are all beautiful human beings, and you guys should be following them, you know, supporting them, giving them the encouragement to consistently grow and to develop. We are an organization about family, and this is exactly what it is. So thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you follow us on all our socials, and like I said, Shadownet's here to stay. Shadownet's different. I hope you guys appreciate it. I hope you guys I hope we grow on you, and we hope to see you in the future for more announcements. So yeah, thank you so much. Shout out to our sponsors one more time: MSI, Playtech, Quantum Energy. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys in the future. Bye bye. Line out.